Hey guys, Carrie's with another review. This time I'll be reviewing the deluxe Tarantula Knight Chitei Guardian Weapon Set from Ohsama Sentai King-Ohger. This is the main mecha of inspired kimonos, and it's a special set that also includes 2 guardian weapons that can be equipped to it. Included in the set are God Tarantula, Guardian PEDE, and Guardian CICADA. So, let's get started. So first we'll take a look at Spider Kumonos' shoe god, God Tarantula. So, this is basically a much bigger spider shoe god than the God Kumo. Has quite a few colors to it, though the main ones being white, gray, and dark gray, as well as gold. Start by looking at the face, where it's got 4 kind of mismatched eyes, 2 being blue, 2 being red, but also with different details to them. There's a couple of little mandibles down here that have a little bit of articulation to them. And then we have its 8 long legs. You can also see 2 with a couple of mismatching paint splotches, as well as the thorax back here, which has some nice gold detailing to it. And this does have a lot of articulation to it. So for the front legs, you've got these parts that move independently. The legs do swivel on some ratchet joints. You've got these legs here which kind of just stick out from these ones back here, which also have joints that rotate and move and pivot in and out. So there is a lot to it. And just to give you an idea of how big it is, here it is next to Legend King-Ohger, and it does look pretty big by comparison. Since it's transformed on its own, that does make a lot of sense. Next we have our 2 Guardian Shoe Gods, Guardian PEDE and Guardian CICADA. So for Guardian PEDE, it's this dark blue centipede. We can see it has a lot of legs to it. A little face there with some kind of maroon colored eyes. Goes around here to the back. So nice, and it can curl, at least in this direction, though that's more for the sake of the transformation. Then we have the Guardian CICADA, which has this nice silver and kind of mint green coloring to it with a little bit of blue. Well, some nice silver wings, a lot of nice details on it. You can spread open the wings and move them around. So you can also make it look like it's mid-flight. Next up, we'll transform God Tarantula. So to start, we're going to take the thorax back here and remove it and set it aside. Then we're going to basically want to straighten out the legs. Same with the ones back here. I'll flip it like this. We'll start with the legs. Fold these pieces inwards. Take these pieces and kind of fold them around and down so that we have them down here like this. Take these pieces and fold them back like this. You can see these parts here. We got unclick them, like so. Here come the feet. From there, we're going to straighten these parts out. Again, basically parallel to the body. Take this little gap and close it up. So we can then make the legs a little bit more. Again, get it pretty much straightened out. Then what we want to do is basically take these pieces, move them downwards, and these pieces upwards. So they go past each other. Move these out a little bit. Something like that. Take these pieces and fold them back, similar to on King-Ohger. Take these pieces and fold them all the way down. Take this piece, move it forward, 2 clicks like that. Right the head, fold up the visor. You can take this piece and equip it onto one arm. Just like so. And here we have Tarantula Knight. So let's take a look. With this straightened out, it now has a much more humanoid form. You see the legs going up to the body, going up to the arms, torso, and head. The head design's got a kind of boxy head, but a pretty cool design with the white helmet and the silver mouthpiece and nice blue eyes, and this visor piece, which, as you saw, can be moved both up and down. And when you move down, you can see it kind of has a bit of a sniper scope going on as far as the goggles go. You also have these legs that become these kind of cool shoulder pieces, where one has some light blue paint on, the other one has purple. And they are mismatched, as we expected. And these can be moved upwards and outwards to basically kind of improve the range of poses you can get out of it. Of course, I have the arms, which are well articulated, and you also have what is basically a sort of web shooter weapon. I can hold on to. And this overall does have a lot of posability. You have the movement of the arms, and a lot of the articulation that was present on God Tarantula is there for sake of giving a lot of range to Tarantula Knight, which is quite nice. And again, doing a little size comparison. It is, of course, shorter than King-Ohger. That's to be expected. That said, they aren't too far off in terms of the overall size, so it does fit in quite well and doesn't look out of place when put next to it. Next, we'll equip Tarantula Knight with the Guardian weapons. So, to convert Guardian PEDE into the PEDE chainsaw, first fold it over like this. and then fold this piece over like so. Or rather more like this. There we have it. Then I turn Guardian PEDE into the, or rather Guardian CICADA into the CICADA blade. Fold down these two pieces. Have it so that the wings come forward like so, and that's the CICADA blade. Both of them equip quite easily. I just clip the PEDE chainsaw onto this arm like so. And the CICADA blade onto this arm, like so. And here we have it with its two guarding weapons. And this definitely does give it a different feel to it, where now instead of a singular spider shooter, now has its two bladed weapons. And one very nice touch I'd like to point out is the way they engineered the PEDE chainsaw. You can kind of see that as it folds out, it doesn't break the look of having all the different legs around it. In fact, it's actually layered so that it keeps that kind of complete look to it. Though we do have the gaps in the blue part, what's more important are the kind of teeth, or, well, yeah, the kind of chainsaw teeth to it. Not to say that the CICADA blade is lacking by any means, as you can also pose the blades in a number of different positions thanks to the joints it has. So definitely a pretty cool look. But in addition, you can also combine Tarantula Knight with Legend King-Ohger for a new combination. And finally, we'll get to our big combination. So, to prepare Legend King-Ohger, the main thing we have to do right now is simply to take off the sword, as well as the wings. And just a second, I need to make sure I get things straightened out. I'll get that back all put together. And set them aside. So then for Tarantula Knight, we'll take off the spider shooter and then attach this piece from it. And we're going to kind of revert back into God Tarantula, but not entirely. So, pull back the visor, put back in the head. Now once again, straighten out the legs. And we're going to kind of want to flip it around. That's more like this. We'll adjust this so we have this piece outwards. Bring these pieces upwards. Take the legs and then rotate them around 180 degrees. Like that, and kind of bring them together. Something like this. Take this piece and put it into this hand. From there we'll take this whole thing, come around to the back, and attach it here where the wings used to be. Make sure that clicks right into place, like that. Then we need to adjust this a little bit. Outwards a little bit, and down. Then we can take the backpack, and using this rail, attach it to here. Let me just get that readjusted. And the backpack assembly should look something like this. I'm going to come around to the front. I'm going to fold down the legs up top here so that they more look like shoulder cannons. And we can get them outwards a little bit. Then the last step will be to take the horns on King-Ohger, fold them down, and take this crown piece and attach it onto the head. And here we have Extreme King-Ohger. Now, for as impressive as it looks, this is definitely the most unwieldy of King-Ohger combinations, bar none. So, to give you more detail, I'll just be zooming in. First up, we have this nice crown. Has some pretty cool green and red gems to it. The other big thing it adds is the backpack with the shoulder cannons. And you can see the legs hanging off the back there, though they're a little bit tricky to see unless you're looking from the right angle, but I honestly would prefer to just not touch it too much. And, you know, it's the kind of thing that is tricky to handle because, you know, you have basically added on an entire mech to the back of another one, and it's keeping the same feet and legs as it originally had, so this is a little bit difficult to handle, and if you're not careful, this thing can collapse under its own weight. So you really have to be very careful in how you have this posed, how you have it positioned, just to make sure you are able to keep it standing. I will say that thankfully the next combination after this does add some support, but again, as I've been alluding to, that's going to have to wait for another time. That being said, this is a pretty nice combination, even if most of the changes can't exactly be seen from the front. And there we go. Overall, this is a very impressive set. Not only do you get the highly posable Tarantula Knight, which stands well on its own, as its own mech, but you also get these two guarding weapons, which I think work better for adding to this mech than the previous two added to King-Ohger, since, you know, on its own, it's just Sparkamos that transforms into Tarantula Knight. With this one, you get a little bit more to add on to it, and gives you some weapon options. Not to mention, if you have King-Ohger and the Legendary Gods, you then are able to make Extreme King-Ohger, which, though it does mostly just add a backpack with cannons, is still a pretty imposing combination, though you do have to be careful with it due to the added weight. But of course, this all does build up towards the final combination, which is yet to come. Now, if you're on a bit more of a budget, I'd say just pick up Tarantula Knight and maybe save the others for later. But if you can afford it, I definitely recommend picking up this set so you can get all of this together. Next time, we'll be going and doing a couple of retro reviews. First one I'll be reviewing is the Beat Machine box from Juco B-Fighter. So, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. And if you're new and would like to see more, please subscribe and hit the bell icon. And for now, this is Kara50, riding off.